Welcome back, adventurers. Today we're gonna make an ooze or a slime or a jelly. You can basically use it for what you want it, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna make it anywhere to where it's gonna be a large, well, probably more of a huge or a gargantuan ooze. We're gonna do 4x4 radius squares, which is gonna be 20 to 20 feet. But you're not gonna really put the ooze on the whole thing, so you can maybe condense it down to where it's just a huge jelly. So basically what we're going to start off with is just some cardboard that I have glued to your foam card stock, the stuff you can get at Dollar Tree, and just glued it on there for more of a steady base. But that's what we're going to start off with. And then I got some more. And basically what I did, I took a little spot and I have drawn sort of like a jelly look. And I'm going to cut this out. And we're going to try to shape it sort of around to it. And this will be our, basically our starting base of it. And then we'll go from there. So let's make the old spawn of Jubilex. Jellies and oozes. And if you want to, when you're done with this, you can paint it black and make it a pudding. But I think I'm going to go with green. Alright, let's cut this out. Don't worry if it's not cutting smoothly, because this is not going to be the finished product. This is just to get sort of your basic shape you want. And then we're going to end up probably adding and manipulating it more. It's my first time doing this, so it will be an experimental process. And this might not even work what I want to do it with, but we'll try it out. Go with your ideas, learn from them, and you never know, it might just work out in the beginning. Let's see, get my sharper scissors here. Try a razor blade. Might work some of it a little better. Maybe not. As I say, I'm not too worried about how it comes out. Just using it to get sort of just a little bit of a shape. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the backs off here. Probably should have done that before cutting it. Let's see. It come out easy enough. Don't try to make it look great because we're going to cover this. And add to it. So what we're doing here might break. Just don't worry about it. Work with it. Slowly, I'm gonna hear it pop and break. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna get our handy dandy heat gun. Heat it up, it's going to start straightening back out. I'm not sure if heating it up will work. Let's see, yeah, I think so. It's sort of bending just a little bit better. So if you need a heat gun, go to Harbor Freight. I think I got this thing for like $13. Now for the next step, we're going to use some aluminum foil here. Basically, what I'm doing is going to try to cover this, use the foil to maybe round it out a bit. Maybe sort of put a bubble on the end. Now you can squeeze it and then put more aluminum foil on it, and it should hold the shape of what you're doing. Make it more of a rounded look. And it's not just straight. All right, so I'm gonna continue that with this and tinfoil it up and make some rounded things and just completely coat this. And I'll come back. So I got it done, and I completely covered it in tinfoil. Now, if you wanted to just maybe take the square base and then make just the tentacles out of tinfoil, you could do that too. The ooze drippings out of tinfoil, you could do that too. But I did the tinfoil because I want to sort of heat up the tinfoil when I'm applying all my hot glue to make it more of a smooth look and not. And then where I want it to not be smooth, I can do that. But I want it to have a smooth, like jelly look to it. And I'll try that, see how that works. So I've already taken my base. This is the base I use, and I went ahead and, you know, pretty much made it look like a dungeon floor, because most of these are going to be found in some type of dingy dungeon sewer. So I made the base to sort of match that. Just quickly did my 1-inch squares, added a crack, did some gray and blacks, did a black first, then a gray sponge coat, and then a little bit of highlights and some white. So that was done. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna take another little aluminum base that I made, right? Because we don't want him completely flat. We want to add some more texture around him. So we're gonna put that, I'm gonna hot glue that on there. So let's get your hot glue. And stick it on there. Put sort of a blob of it. Now I'm going to take my main portion that I made. I'm going to hot glue around here. And I'm going to put a generous amount to hold it on. Alright, just hold it there. Now I can already feel the heat coming up the tinfoil. So, and it's also going to make it dry a lot faster because it's going to pull the heat out of the hot glue itself. Alrighty. And put a little blob right here because I'm adding another blob. Let's put it on there. There we go. Tiny blob. All right. So that is what it's looking like right there. All right. Now, in the background here, you want to go ahead and start adding some more hot glue. All right, so I'm gonna add a little bit of how it comes out just a little bit because I think it's a little bit too flat on the edges. So I'm just gonna get some tin foil and make a little bit of a edge coming out like that. Now it's sort of more of a rounded shape. So now we're just gonna hot glue this in the back. Sort of put a little bit of a thick coat back there. All right, so we just want to start coating the tin foil. Now the tin foil from the hot glue is going to heat up, so it should like just make it spread evenly. Now you're definitely going to use a lot of sticks of hot glue. Okay, I got it covered pretty well. Now, take my heat gun. And I'm going to heat it all back up. And probably make it a little bit smoother looking, hopefully. Let's see. Also heat it up enough to where it's going to make it, if there's any heavy spots, it should make, the gravity should just make it droop down to where it looks more like an ooze. Then get a couple spots where you want to just like pile it and just let that ooze down like that. Just pile it up on itself and just let it walk itself down. You could even do that on like off a tentacle where that will drip down. Put some spots on there where it drips down. And you don't have to start them all at the top. So now we want to let that dry really well, and then we can pull off these little wisps that are just not going to work out. All right, now another thing I was going to do is I got this gray pipe cleaner. Is I want here, just whip this around, make the end just a little bit bigger. I just really want it to like be sort of like coming out at the back of the middle and maybe like wrapping around. This would be like the tentacle arm that comes and is what's attacking your players. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put some hot glue on this before I even put it in there. Go ahead and coat it. Make it a little bit easier because it's so flimsy moving it around. I've been trying to get to all the spots. Just might not be the easiest. Need another stick. I think I'm going to want to make this wire double, so it's because this hot glue is making pretty heavy, so I don't want it to where it will be too heavy and not stay up. Alright. So I just have to shorten it up a little bit. It's probably too long anyway. Now, the good thing about hot glue and this pipe cleaner is it will still be semi-flexible. So you can sort of move it later on. Now I am going to heat gun this a little bit to make it a little bit more smoothed out. Now I just gotta hold this until it dries so I can manipulate up here. All right, so I think I'm just gonna take this and stick it right there. I'm gonna put a big old glob of hot glue. And cover it. Just let it ooze down. All right. Right there. And hold that till it dries. All right, there we go. So now we want it to nice and dry. So let it dry really well, and then we'll come back to paint. All right, so I'm going to do the green, but glow. I'm gonna make this glow. Now, I've got a smaller one that I put on, and when this dries, and this is actually the second coat, it's still really see-through. So what I'm going to do, and it will thicken up in places where it sort of gathers, which will be fine, because that's like slime. You know, it's thick and thin, but I don't really want to see through it all. Maybe parts I'll see through, like maybe some of the parts that are just sort of oozing out right here along the side, make that a little thinner to see through. These thick drips, maybe make that a little see-through. The drips that come down here, drips on the side. But the rest, I don't really want it to be see-through. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this sort of a darker, it's a light green, but it's dull and darker than this is. And this is citrus green. And so what I'm gonna do is paint most of this color first, and then after it dries, I'm gonna make a coat of this bright glowing green. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and paint it, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like before I put this on. All right, so painted it green, except for a few places. Right along here, like the drips. And I'm gonna touch them. I'm not 100% sure how it's gonna come out with that glowing paint, but we'll that's what we'll do. Check it out. We'll try it. But I don't. So we'll I'm gonna go touch it up around here with the glow in the dark paint, and it's a little bit different of a green, so it should stand out, give a little contrast, and we'll come back after that.
right, well there it is. All right, there we go. Now, the glow in the dark, you might have to put more than one coat on sometimes.
All right, so it's all done. I really like the way it came out, the color, and the glow in the dark paint is the on the drips. I did put a light wash, a sort of a green, darker green wash, really thin with a lot of flow aid, and it sort of dulled it up just a bit and sort of got some in the recesses for shadowing. But here's the arm there. It's a little flexible. But I really like how this thing come out. I really like the look of it and the color. So hopefully the sun's shining tomorrow. I'll put it in the sunlight for a few minutes to get it really good charge on the glow in the dark, and then I'll try to see if my camera will pick up it in the dark and see if you can see it glowing tomorrow. And then I'll splice up this video and put it out. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Table calls. Keep gaming.